sun goes down, you're gonna find me just hanging round. This nightlife, it ain't no good life, but it's my life.
Hello to all of our BPTV fans, YouTube fans, Facebook fans, and new fans, and even some of Gary Germany's fans. Oops, I slipped up a little bit. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, co-host and co-producer of By Request. My co-host and co-producer is Jessica Lee. And Jess, how are you today? And what is our theme?
Hey, Al, it's great to see you. The first requested song today is The More I See You. And I recently recorded this at a great studio in Pittsburgh called Red Cayman Media. The message of the song is, the more we see certain people, the more we just unconditionally respect them and love them and want to support them. And that is the case with our featured guest. Right after we hear the first song that was requested, The More I See You, we will meet this guest, Gary Germany. You did slip and say his name. And all the things he's doing that everybody watching will want to support him and get to know him better, because everything is other oriented. He's doing things to really help families and help people. So all I'll say is it's going to be a great show. We thank everybody for requesting songs and tuning in. Al, what are you drinking?
I got some China gunpowder. It's nice and warm on this cool, dreary day in Pittsburgh. Fall is truly here.
Autumn is among us. Yeah.
Delish.
So let's do this, Al. Let's listen to the lyric of this first requested song, and let's come on back and meet our special guest. What do you say?
I can't wait, and especially to hear this version of your song again. Let's do this right now. Come on.
The more I see you. The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows with every sign. I become more mad about you. Can't live without you. So it goes. Can you imagine just how much I love you? The more I see you, as years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free you, my heart won't try. As years go by, I know the only
Jess, that just sounded wonderful. And it's a great theme for today. No further ado, let's bring our friend Gary Germany, who I met through you years ago. Gary, how are you today?
Good morning, Alan. How are you today? And Jessica, hello, hello, hello to you both. Oh, always great to see you both.
I'm
Hey,
doing
hey,
great.
Gary. Hey, Gary, we're doing great. I want to go off of what you said, Al. I met Gary Germany really on a music stage. So I'm singing a professional jazz, blues, Americana show, and I meet this gentleman, and he comes and sits in and sings a song. And his voice was heavenly, and his talent was immense. And I didn't know what I know now about Gary, but I first really met him listening to him sing and understanding his music. And Gary, tell everybody a little bit about your cliff notes, just who you are and how you came to write your first book, will you hold that up for us?
Absolutely.
Your first book, and read the title to us for everybody
It's
who's
Domestic
really
Violence, The Fight of Your Life is the
the
title.
fight of your life. We want to beat domestic violence, right? Overcome it. And so, Gary, give us your startup story. The theme of this show is going to be about finding peace in our relationships and in our communities and our world. Gary, we're going to turn the floor over to you. Tell us how you started up and what inspired you to write this book.
Okay, well, thank you, Jessica. And actually, I am clergy. I am a minister, a pastor, and I've been walking in this way ever since I was a teenager. But what we're going to discover where there were some situations that I was unaware of, and then some things that lay dormant within me because of my past. And this is how this ended up being developed. People ask me, why is it important for me to share this particular message? And being clergy, why expose myself? And actually, the Word of God says that correction must first take place in the household of faith. So with me being accepting the call as a servant, okay, that's all it is a servant. And I'm serving the community, even if it's one person at a time. But I must be authentic in order for me to walk in the light that he is in the light and my life really have an impact. It has to be real. So I had to waken up about 4 a.m. This was just before COVID had taken place. And I heard God's quiet voice say to me, now is the time to share this message. And I was kind of taken back by it because I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like, Lord, you want to take the worst part of my life and you want me to put it out there? And Holy Spirit said, yes, because it will help people. So at that point, I was on board because actually I knew that it was God speaking to me. And so I says, I need to go out and share this message. But I want to say something because I'm sharing this and you may see a smile on my face, even though this is such a dramatic conversation. I had to be healed for 30 years. Now I'm talking about an event here, okay, as you read the book and you hear this story, over 30 years ago. So had you met me prior to that, you would be surprised. Oh, what, Gary, what, you were involved in that? Yes. You know, if you met me after that, it's like, oh, no way, come on. You're being a imposter. I'm saying, no, this really happened. So now I was able to understand. I couldn't share this because I was still feeling the guilt that I was a disappointment. You know, there's a chapter in the book that says, no, I would never. And, you know, that thing that I saw repeatedly, you know, at different occasions in my life, I did. But what
And
took
Gary, so
place-
you're talking about violence within the house, just so everybody's clear, violence within families, violence within homes, right? That's what you're, and just to be clear for our TV viewers, who should read this book? Is it for everyone, Gary? Is it for a subsector of people? Who should read your book?
everyone should read the book, because what the book actually talks about, even though the topic is domestic violence, the book is really about establishing and maintaining healthy relationships. So once we understand these strategies, then we can move forward, because no one wants to be that person that no one else wants to be around, So, and this is important because not only does it help, say, a married couple, all right, but it's these strategies work, brothers and sisters, nephews and nieces, co-workers on the job. Okay, we need to be able to be in a situation, and you might hear something that you may not like to hear, but we also need to know how to respond to a situation opposed to reacting. Conflict resolution, it's what we're talking about.
It's a book that's for everyone, and it also, like you're saying, is about forgiving ourselves when we've done wrong, picking ourselves up and doing better, becoming a better version of ourselves. So talk to us about a song that we are going to let our viewers hear very shortly, a song that you wrote.
The song is called You Need to Stop Domestic Violence. And so it's a song that helps us analyze personally those who fall subject to it and take a really deep look at yourself. Because also one of the things I talk about, as we know that in the songwriting, there's occasionally a bridge. So there's a place where you transition. So even within my story, in the song, the transition is that the fact that a chaotic environment is created when there's constant arguing, bickering, even physical fighting, when a man, now I'm talking about a man, because this is for men to accept accountability, okay, within their lives. And I know some people say, oh yeah, well, women do that too. We're not talking about the women. We're talking about the men, all right? And in order to create an environment wherever you are and you foster love and care. But how can you foster it if you don't know what it looks like? And actually, when I talk about what it looks like, this is a quote from the book. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It does not boast. It is not puffed up. It is not rude. It does not seek its own interest. It is not quick-tempered. And it does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. So this is the picture of love. So if we can align ourselves up within that time frame, I'm telling you, all of our relationships will be enhanced. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we need it. So the book is for everyone. And let's hear the song now. What do you say, Al?
I got one pause. I read this great heartfelt book that you produced, and it just amazed me. As you know, I'm a very positive guy. It influenced me because I have no tolerance for domestic violence. And this just inspired me even more to do a show, the Talking Machine Show, with you. And I'm honored you're one of my first guests to be on 3 of my shows today.
Wow.
So I thank you. And we got to hear this song.
Let's hear the song.
Please listen closely. That's all I'm going to say. And get the book.
We'll be right back with Gary Germany. Here's the song now.
This is 911. Are you safe? Are you wounded? Is he in the house? We have a domestic violence disturbance at 77 Lost Love Way. Help is on the way. Today, the children saw something that they'll never forget. They saw the father holler, scream, push the mother to the ground. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop abusive behavior. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Domestic violence. You're so busy trying to have the last word. Win the battle at what cost? The children are the victims of this chaotic environment. Collateral damage, debris, shattered, left behind. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop abusive behavior. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Domestic violence. Don't hit it. Don't hit it with your hand. Don't hit it. Don't hit it with your words. Don't hit it. Don't be cruel. Don't be mean. Don't hit it. No, 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 no. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop abusive behavior. You need to stop domestic violence. You need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Domestic violence. No, don't hit it. No, no, don't hit it. You need to stop. Don't hit it. You need to stop. Don't hit it. No, no, don't hit it. You need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. No, don't hit it. No, no, don't hit it. No, don't hit it. No, don't hit it. No, no, don't hit it. No, don't hit it.
Gary, you are so gifted. You produced that song, you wrote that song, you recorded that song. It is a wonderful, poignant message. It is hip. It is today. That song's for everybody. What do you hope happens with this song next?
I'm hoping that the song and the book has actually becomes a platform, and it enables me to have a stage and go somewhere and to share this message of hope. You know, it's like even after you hear the music and, you know, some will catch the groove of it, but if you will just take a moment and just really, really hear the words. And what's interesting is that within the song, there's on the choruses, you need to stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. And it's funny, it builds up because that's the alarm. You know, we can stop it. We can do better. So it's the challenge. So I'm thankful for the stage, and I'm, you know, looking to any platform, any stage, any audience. You know, I am willing to go and share this message of hope.
So, Gary, schools, nonprofits, as well as things that are youth oriented, adult oriented, senior community oriented, all of that you're welcoming?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Last question here before we talk with Al a little more. You talked to me about this, but I don't know if you've talked to Al about this yet. You have another project that you're working on, a second book?
Yes. The book is called, we want to keep the theme going here, okay? It's domestic violence, but it's a challenge book. The title is called Domestic Violence. You're better than that. And so it encourages us, once again, self-examination. Let's look at our life, okay, and realize that we can, regardless to all the things we may have heard in our life, and some things stems from even being a child. Unfortunately, some people may have heard people say, you know, you're not about nothing, you're not worth anything, you know, you're just like your mother, you're just like your father, and all of this negative reinforcement. But once we clear all of that out, okay, and we begin to understand that, wait a second, you know, I've learned these behaviors because they say that 65% of our learning is by visual concept. So if 65% of this we've taken in, okay, we've got a lot of work that we can do, okay, that when we move in our lives with our life, it reflects what we're saying. And it is the action that takes place, you know. And so
there's a lot of writing, Gary, as well. I want you just to address this point quickly, that what you put out in the world, you get back. So if you put violence out, you get violence back. If you rise above it and are a stronger kind of person, and you respond with peace and with compassion and kindness, you get that back, right? So it's almost selfish in a way. What do you think about that?
Well, there's a scripture that says that, Jessica. What we sow, we reap. We may not always feel the effect of something that same season, but it does. The world says, oh, what goes up must come down, which is absolutely right. So if we can get into a place where, and it's interesting, there's a quote that I heard you say years ago, Jessica, and it resonated with me. It is to live a life to do no one no harm, and if we can get to that place, and when I say harm, I'm even talking about conversation, because the scriptures teach that our tongue is a small member, but whoa, what evil can our tongue say with words that hurt and stay with people for years and years and years?
So
why don't
Gary,
we
if you can't help somebody, at least don't hurt them, right? That's and so
Absolutely, yes.
when will this new book come out?
I'm still working on it. There's a couple more chapters I have to put on it, but we're talking, I want to say soon, but I'm working on it.
God's time.
Sure.
And final question for me, and then I'll ask Al to wrap us up here. How do people get in touch with you? How do they find you? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have an email, a number you want us to put up for everybody? How do they reach you?
Absolutely. There's a website. It's called Do You Believe 77, but I can be contacted at G2 Square 77, and that is G, the digit 2, the word square, SQUARE 77 at yahoo.com. G2
At Yahoo.
77 at yahoo.com.
Okay,
so
Al. Sorry, Gary, go ahead. I wanted Al to get in on you, get a chance to ask a question because he's been so quiet.
The simple question I have is, when you wrote this, what time of the day or night did you write it? And how long did it take you? Like Jessica Lee and I have talked, and musicians are inspired at 3 a.m. And you've been a lifetime musician. Please let me in on that secret. That's what I want to do. And then I'll talk a bit more.
Well, it's interesting. It got to the point where I couldn't put the song down. It just stayed on my mind. So I'm going to say this is the true answer: morning, noon, and night.
That's why we're friends. You're so honest. And I'm so inspired, and I'm honored and blessed to do this show and co-host and co-produce, to put the word out for you. To all of you that are watching it, maybe just now or in the future, you recommend it. Please reach out to Gary. How he is here with us, that's how he is in real life. He's out there to help others and not himself. He puts it out there, and he's a strong man of God, and I respect that. And this has just been so great for me, and I hope all of you are half inspired as I am. So
read his book. And how do they find your book, Gary?
The book is available on Amazon and also Barnes & Nobles as well.
Okay, all right. So, guys, we're going to go out today with a requested song called Please Send Me Someone to Love. As a fellow musician and singer, Gary, you know this message. It was written by the poet laureate of the blues, and it really says, dear God, help us to create peace in this world before our world is just put up in flames. Help us to create peace in our world. And oh, by the way, if you have anything left over after you help out with world peace, dear God, maybe please send me someone to love. That's the lyric. So I want to go out with this song and thank everybody for sending in song requests. We're going to keep them coming. Al, final word.
Final words are, I co-sign what Jess said. I double co-sign what Gary's doing, and I can't wait to read his new book. And thanks for all the great feedback. This is our 40+ show that we've done, and we're going to carry on whenever the Spirit moves us truly. So God bless all of you during these trying times, and stay tuned for our next By Request.
Please send me someone to love. understanding, peace of mind. And if it's not asking too much, please send me someone to love. Would you show our world how? Show us how to get along. Peace will enter when all of our hate is gone. And if it's not asking too much, please, Lord, now send me someone to love. We lie awake nights thinking about this world's trouble. My answer is always the same, yeah, yes. Unless we put an end to our sorrowful sin, hate's gonna put our world in flames. Just because we're down here is so much misery. I don't beg for no sympathy. And if it's not asking too much, please, Lord, now send me someone to love. Thinking about this world's trouble. My answer is always the same. Unless we put an end to our sorrowful sin, hate's gonna put our world in flames. Just because we're down here is so much misery. I don't beg for no sympathy. If it's not asking too much, please, Lord, send me someone to love. If it's not asking too much, please, Lord, now send me someone to love.